Hello, friends. Here we are. I'm back in my old office after almost 2 years being upstairs. So I'm in a good mood for talking to you. And Derek gave me the subject of letters. You know, it's interesting. I'm 76. I grew up when there was letters and telephone. And I used the telephone, but I grew up overseas from 54 to 61, and I loved getting a letter. A letter from somebody you love. Very rarely at that time did I get letters from people I didn't know. And someone would write you a letter, and no matter how much you know them or love them, it's a surprise what they say, whether it's 10 sentences or 10 pages. And so I liked answering letters, and I became a letter writer. I'm also a daily journalist, over 40 years of journaling, not missing a day. So I like to write. I make phone calls, but I chose decades ago to never learn how to use a computer or a smartphone, because I think that they've damaged young people's expression and engagement in the world. So let me tell you about letter writing. I've told all my audiences, probably 40 million people, that I answer all my mail, and I've told other people that as well, and I've probably written over 500,000 letters, I estimate, to 136 countries. I grew up a stamp collector. Long before I liked letters, I liked the stamps on the letters. And then there was the content. And wow, have I gotten some letters. Today I answered 3, and I've had days here where I've answered 15. I open the letter, I read what's in it, and I try to tell, is this a letter of substance? Is it saying something to me? Is it asking something of me? And when it does those things, I feel like I'm in a dialogue, that I'm in a conversation, and I like conversation, and so I like letters. Oh, I have felt so many wonderful things from letters. Long before I lived with Susan, we wrote letters. And so romance was one thing that held letter writing frequently. And friends, close friends, people in trouble. I've gotten a huge number of letters from people who saw the movie, loved the movie, it influenced them, and they're wrestling with something. And so, since our hospital closed many years ago, letters are probably the closest way I get to be a doctor. Most of the letters I answer are not from people I know. They're from people who are writing me based on having seen some of the publicity or remembered its influence on them. And with the computer, it's easy to get an address. Sometimes they are responding to something in a book or the film, and they want to talk. And that's one nice thing about the Patch Adams movie, is that it is about medical work. And so I get a lot of those letters. A lot of suicidal letters, people who aren't sure they want to live and they wanted a friend. Let's call in the broad category friend letters. People who, in their own country where they live, in their marriage, they're lonely. And they want to connect with a person who will end their loneliness through a conversation. And then there's the raw letters of friendship. People that you know and love, sometimes for decades, scores of years even, who writes you, catch you up, you're thrilled, you tear open the letter, you read it a couple of times. Make a big and answer. And since I'm also a political activist, I think there's a taste of political action in my letter writing, even to friends, making sure that they're concerned about climate change and try to see where they are with their life, ending racism, sexism, those kinds of things. I definitely respond to anything relating to those communications. I save every letter. I've saved every letter I've got. I've got boxes of them in storage. Connecting means letters. Friendship means letters. And community means letters. Thank you for writing. Oh boy.